Walk 1,000 crooked miles on roads I didn't choose. Carried pride like heavy armor, with more to hide than lose. Every mile a lesson, every scar a sign. Grace was always waiting further down the line. And somewhere in the quiet, the tired man understands. I'm still walking home, even through the night, even when the road disappears from sight. Every step behind me taught my heart to roam, but every road I travel is still walking home. I used to chase the distance, thinking peace was far away. But mercy lives in moments we almost throw away. And faith ain't always thunder, sometimes it's just the ground under tired boots when no one's around. And the truth, the wandering heart finally comes to know I'm still walking home, dust and doubt, through the silent prayers I once lived without. Every road that broke me led my soul to roam, but every step I'm taking is still walking home. Maybe home ain't somewhere waiting down the road. Maybe it's the peace you find inside the heavy load. Maybe God was walking every mile I know. I'm still walking home, through the dark and light, through the grace that found me in the middle of the fight. Every road behind me helped my spirit grow, and every step I'm taking is still walking home. Not finished yet, still walking home. Thought I'd lost the road somewhere between my pride and pain. Miles of dust behind my tires, nothing left to blame. I blame the silence of the sky for every empty prayer, never once imagining that heaven still was there. Funny how a wandering man finds truth when he looks back. He was there all alone through the night. nights I felt alone. Through the miles I thought I was walking on my own. Every road I nearly quit, every tear I tried to hide, even when I couldn't see him, he was walking by my side. I remember all the anger, all the questions in my chest. Every time I swore that faith was just a hopeful guess. But mercy has a way of waiting out a scorn, and grace will keep a light on for a heart that's worn. Sometimes a man discovers what was never gone. He was there all along, in the quiet and the doubt, in the prayers I whispered when the lights went out. Every road that broke me, every scar I tried to hide, even when I couldn't feel him, he was walking by my side. Baby, heaven doesn't leave when a man gets lost. Baby, love just waits, no matter what it costs. He was there all along, in the shadow of my past, through every broken mile that I thought would be my last. And somewhere in the silence, where the lonely hearts belong, I finally saw the truth. He was there all along. Some roads don't lead away, they lead you back. I was sitting on the tailgate of a truck that barely ran, dust settling on the highway like the weight of who I'd been. Every wrong turn behind me, every bridge I let burn, I thought mercy was a story a man like me don't earn. But somewhere in that silence, with nothing left to hide, grace found me there, in the middle of the night. Not when I was winning, but when I lost the fight. No choir in the distance, no thunder in the air, just a quiet kind of mercy saying, son, I'm still right here. Yeah, grace found me there. I remember thinking maybe gotta close the door after all the years of running. Who could ask for more? But forgiveness has a way of showing up unannounced, like rain across the desert when the sky's all dried out, and a broken man discovers what pride could never see. Grace found me there, where the road began to bend, not when Just a quiet kind of freedom, saying, son, I still care. Yeah, grace found me there. Maybe mercy waits at the end of our control. Maybe losing everything is how a man finds his soul. Grace found me there, where the strong men fall apart, where forgiveness meets the pieces of a tired heart. No crowd to witness, no glory in the air, just the kind of love that meets a man right there. Grace found me there. Sometimes the road down is where grace begins. There's a chair at the kitchen table where a man just stares sometimes. Coffee going cold beside him while he's running through his mind. Bills stacked like silent questions, promises he swore he'd keep. No one hears the quiet battles fought before a man can sleep. They say a man should be a mountain, never bend and never fall. But the weight men carry ain't something you can see. It's the fear behind the silence and the things we'll never speak. It's the nights we drive for miles just to breathe a little air. Yeah, the world keeps turning, but the weight's still there. My old man never told me how heavy life can get. He just wore his tired shoulders like a badge of no regret. I guess I learned the language of the quiet and the strong, but even iron hearts can break if they carry it too long. And somewhere in the darkness, a man whispers to the skies about the weight men carry, every promise and every scar, every road that leads you home but still feels far. It's the pride that keeps you silent when your heart's beyond repair. Yeah, the world keeps turning, but the weight's still there. Every strength ain't hiding, every tear you feel. Maybe strength is letting somebody know it's real. Yeah, the weight men carry might bend you to your knees, but Grace can lift a burden, even men like me. There's somewhere in the silence where the broken prayers repair, you'll find a little mercy waiting there. Some ways getting lighter when a man finally admits they're there. I used to think a stubborn heart was something you should keep, like it proved the kind of man a man was meant to be. I wore silence like armor, every word locked in. Never thought tomorrow would make me look back again. Funny how the years can show what pride will never say. I'm not the man I was back then. Thank God for that today. That man was lost in his own shadow, too proud to change his ways. He thought strength meant standing tall, no matter what it cost. Now I know the strongest men are the ones who say they're lost. There were nights I drove for miles just to outrun who I was. Radio talking to the dark about forgiveness and love. I never thought those words would one day sound like truth. But time has a way of humbling a fool, and the mirror tells a story I was too young to read. I'm not the man I was back then, and maybe that's the grace. Life don't leave you where you started. If you learn from your mistakes, every scar reminds me the roads I had to mend, and I thank God every moment I ain't that man again. Maybe growing older ain't about the years, maybe it's about the courage to face your fears. I'm not the man I was back then, but I remember him well. He walked through fire and pride, and a little bit of hell, and somewhere down those broken roads that stubborn young man. Some roads change a man if he lets them. Two roads, one God, still walking. Some roads don't answer back, no sign, no turning track. Just dust behind your tires and miles of quiet fires. I've said 1,000 prayers, but heaven just stared like the sky was listening without a single word. But silence don't mean absence, even when it feels that way. Some roads don't answer back, but I keep walking anyway. Faith ain't always thunder, sometimes it's just staying. No voice from the mountain, no miracle in sight, just a stubborn kind of hope that keeps me moving through the night. My father used to say, "Son, storms will find their way," but he never told me how a man survives them now. Some nights I sit and wonder if heaven hears my name, or if faith is just the courage to walk without the rain. Maybe grace moves slowly through the dust and through the doubt. Some roads don't answer back, but I keep walking through. Faith ain't always certain, sometimes it's what you choose. No sign in the distance, no voice inside the wind, just a quiet kind of mercy that won't let you give in. Still walking, still believing. Some roads don't answer back, but they still lead you home. Faith ain't always loud, sometimes it walks alone. And somewhere past the silence, where doubt begins to fade, you find the kind of peace that only walking makes. Still walking, still believing. Still walking. Some road. two roads, one God, still walking. I used to bow my head at night, say the words I learned by heart. Same old line, same old rhythm, never letting down my guard. I talked to heaven like a stranger, kept my distance like a man. Thought a prayer was just a habit, not something you'd understand. But pain has a way of opening doors pride never lets you see. And the prayer I never said was the one I needed most. Not the polished Sunday words, but the truth I almost choked. I said, God, I'm barely holding on, and I don't know what to do. Turns out heaven listens closer when a man finally tells the truth. There were miles of quiet driving, with the radio turned to low, questions louder than the highway, more than anyone could know. I kept thinking strength meant silence, like my father always showed. But even strong men need a place to lay their heavy load. And somewhere in the dark, with no one else around, I finally made a sound. And the prayer I never said was the one that broke me through. Not the words I memorized, but the fear I finally knew. I said, Lord, I'm tired of pretending I'm stronger than I am. Turns out grace shows up the moment you start trying to stand. Still learning, still walking. Two rows in. I used to bow my head at night, still walking. Two rows.